They are one family. They all have no melanin pigment, and this made their life worse and hard to survive ever since they were born. Having albinism had made them subject to torture and ill treatment. Some of these were not taken to school, not because they were dull or not clever in class, but just because their parents could not see any positive impact they would give after school, all because of this albinism. Parents said it would be a wastage of time and money. Others went to school and failed because their eyes could not see clearly at the blackboard, and they ended up dropping out. This is a life with albinism.
Mazina yanjye ni Nyirabasabose Jacqueline, nitwa Kabanyanarusi. Yego. Twanyira bikari Sephora.
Starting with Sephora, the oldest among these, shares with us her tough life of being an albino since 1950s.
Navutse muri 54. Igihumbi kimwe magana cyenda 54.
I was born in 1954. I was the only one born with albinism in our family, and I was the firstborn. Parents were shocked right after they produced me. They had never seen such a person. They all had a dark skin. Sephora says that after she was born, she brought kind of divisionism among the family, where the father loved, cared and protected her, while the mother went against her and was not happy of having produced such an albino child. This made her suffer a lot in her childhood. By when the father would be around, she would be treated good and given care the whole day. She would be tortured by her own mother, who said Sephora is a disgrace to the whole family. She says she suffered a lot and was tested beyond limits. Imagine living with a life and being trolled by many people plus your own mother. She breathed a sigh of relief when they finally produced the 7th child, and was another albino. This made Sephora so happy having seen someone who looks like her. But for this lastborn, he was so unfortunate that after his 8 years, he later died. Due to albinism, her mother never took her to school. All other siblings of her went to school. All those never had such a skin abnormality. She was told school would help her nothing, that paying her school fees would not be worth it. The mother told her daughter that they would rather buy beer than pay her fees. Though the father loved his daughter so much, he could not reverse the mother's decision due to always being drunk and irresponsible. Knowing she's not going to school and was the oldest among other siblings, she had to work hard at home and set a good example to the young ones. She persisted and endured suffering, and always had in mind that after some time things would be alright. Other siblings studied, and I remained here home doing home activities, namely cultivating, collecting food, babysitting small children, cooking and many more. I remained a house girl while watching other siblings go to school, all because of being born different. Later, the mother died, leaving 7 children without a mother, and that meant Sephora was now going to take charge of them as long as she was the oldest, and acted as the mother to these siblings. She was assigned to raising them. She did it happily and willingly. She had in mind that one day, maybe after graduating and making it in life, they would remember her as one who played a key role in their life and support her back. All siblings studied, graduated and got married. She remained. Yet she was the oldest. Due to albinism, many men feared and never wished they would get married to her. They would troll and say her skin color brings no luck to the family but curses. There came a man who loved me, but my father was not willing to let me go. He was afraid that I could leave and go far from his sight or even be mistreated. But I was old and ready to get married. In addition, the man who wanted to marry me was having the same skin condition I have. Sephora did not listen to her father. She instead went and lived with that man. She feared that she would never find someone else who would love her as that man did. She later produced 4 children, and 3 of them are albinos, apart from the youngest, who has a normal skin color. Life for her was not always going her way. She expected siblings she raised to remember all what she did for them, but they never came back to check on her. The house she was given by parents fell down, and she's not able to rebuild it. She lives in another old house next to this one, but this too is almost falling. She has nothing to do about this since she's poor and has no money or any other support. According to her own view, she says she thinks she was born to suffer, but despite lacking this melanin pigment, she also has skin cancer. She says she has no future. She can't afford her medicine. The 67-year-old grandma says she's waiting for her time to come to the end, then leave this cruel world. She's the daughter of Sephora. She's called Kanya Narusi. She says she also found herself with this skin condition, but at least her mother had seen different consequences of not going to school. She had to let her join school. We were taken to school like others, but due to my skin condition, my eyes are also affected. And during my time at school, I could not see clearly at the blackboard, and there was no teacher to take a close guidance at me. This made me not attentive in class, and I ended up underperforming. I could see that I might spend a lot of years in one class, then I ended up dropping out. Due to albinism, she says families, friends and all were against her. She says it's as if she was against the whole world. Most times she could be bullied and trolled. She got used to this, and now insults and whatever can't bother her too much. Her relationship story was full of fake lovers who were not serious. She lost hope, seeing that she had grown old and not having a husband. She could always ask God what she did to deserve all that unfairness, but later her prayers were answered. A neighboring man came to me and proposed. He says he wanted to be my lover, and we fell in love. He was a normal person without such a skin disorder, but his family never wanted him to marry me. They could ask if he was bewitched to reject normal girls and fall in love with an albino like me, but he never cared. He was committed to loving me. Challenges were too much and hatred on them, but they kept loving each other. They lived together. By when she was pregnant, the mother-in-law said it's so worthless since she knew they would produce albinos. But surprisingly, she was later blessed with 3 children with a good, normal black skin. She says producing such children to her is a blessing to God, that God saved her from trolls and bullies that would follow if she had given birth to children looking like her. She's called Jacqueline. She's also a child to Sephora, but despite having albinism, for her, she's proud of it. She's always smart and clean, she has confidence, and she's not worried of how badly the society treats her. She's always happy and smiling. Jacqueline went to school, and not like her big sister, she never gave up on education, regardless of whatever challenges she faced. She studied, then graduated from high school. At school, nothing was easy. Finding yourself in a school where you are the only one having such a skin condition contributed to a lot of bullying, where many people never wanted to share even a plate with me. But I went against all those challenges and many more and kept studying. They all conclude they suffered enough. They would wish to raise awareness about albinism in the society, but have no way of making this. They say persons with albinism deserve to have the right to life and security protected, as well as the right not to be subjected to torture and ill treatment. They believe education and awareness-raising campaigns can help combat superstition and stigma associated with albinism. We are all dust passing through the air. The difference is some are flying high in the air while others are flying low. But eventually we all settle on the same ground. I believe that all lives have equal value, that all men and women are created equal, that everyone has rights and everyone has the right to flourish. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.